But Dave, let's kind of segue that. We're the Bears into this past week of games.
Yep.
You're the Bears fan. Like, this is a game where the Bears rallied late in the fourth, but
no, we didn't rally.
Hey,
we got garbage time.
Everyone's saying rallied late in the fourth.
Garbage time.
As a Bears fan watching the game, thoughts?
We're ass and we need to fire people.
Okay.
It's literally this in the last segment. We're ass. We need to fire people. That was garbage time against a zone prevent defense. Mm-hmm. We looked good because we played hurry up because we do every single fucking week when we're down by 40. It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't give me hope. It doesn't make me think we've figured anything out. We have a waste of talent on the defensive end. It doesn't matter what we do on offense because they're all awful. Our play calling is awful. Everything is awful. The Titans aren't even that good, and we still lost to them. We held Derrick Henry to fucking 60 yards?
68. You couldn't let him get one more? Couldn't let him get just one more yard? 69? Nice.
How do we stop the beast in the fucking backfield from getting over 70 yards and we can't do dick on the offensive end? Yeah. I mean, we had a situation where it's 4th and 1. And guess what? I freaked out on Twitch chat, or not Twitch chat, but on Discord. So I'm like, they literally lined up in the neutral zone, didn't get called for it, flinched, and then caused us to create a
false start.
It's a false start, and then it was another false start, and then I just wanted to fucking turn off the game. I was like, wow, we can't play football. The refs didn't see. I love how the sideline camera shows it perfectly. It's like, here's the ball, and here's them lining up over the ball. Oh, no penalty there. Didn't see that happen, but we sure saw him flinch.
Whereas the Cowboys got called on 2 of those late in the game.
I can't, man. I can't be a Bears fan. Even Seth Rollins on Twitter every single week. It's just, I hate football.
Yeah. I mean,
as a Bears fan, you just hate football right now.
The thing I can tell you, though, is, although they're different situations, I know what Bears fans feel like in a sense because my team was there.
You had the best defense in football. And
best defense in football. We were supposed to we were one game from the playoffs. The other year it was we were supposed to come back, and now we're nowhere sniffing it. I feel like we should be better than our record is now, but we're still not good to where it's I feel wasted, and it's the only thing that's different is we don't I don't blame Spielman and Zimmer I blame Pace and Nagy. Our problem is we paid a fucking quarterback. What?
Nothing.
I mean, for me, it's the fucking quarterback we paid. At least you can get out of your quarterback. We can't get out of ours.
We gave up a 4th rounder for Nick Foles.
Yeah.
And we gave up 2 first rounders for Trubisky.
We just overpaid ours to where we're stuck with them.
We're
stuck with them.
It's sad.
Non-Bears game, though. Broncos and Falcons. This is one that I thought the Falcons were going to lose a little bit when I was Todd Gurley's going a little bit. Could the Broncos do what they did last week and squeak out a win late on the? Well, this one was on the road. Last week's was at home. Falcons though getting the win. They're positive record after firing Dan Quinn.
Yeah, no, that's all it is. It's just you gotta get somebody else in there who is not an idiot, and good job for them. I'm envious, and I wish I were them at times. I wish we had maybe lost that game, because then you know what, we wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah, I mean,
real shame.
Broncos tried to come back too. They're down 34-13. Then you got fucking Drew Lock, man, fucking pass to Tim Patrick.
What a roll.
And then a run in by fucking Drew Lock to pull him within the 34-27. What, 2 touchdowns through the air, the one through the legs,
through the leg. No, he went through the defense. It was great because he could have gone for the pylon, but instead he turned in and went straight at the guy and just made a miss. He did a little spin move.
And I mean, with the Falcons too, news that they had today, they have waived Takaris McKinley. One of the edge rusher that I want to say hasn't been. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. He was the big one in the free agency. Are they going to re-sign him or not?
Right.
Well, they waived him, so he's going to be on a different team. Seattle Buffalo, Dave. This was one on Friday.
Should have known better.
On Friday, I asked, will the Bills offense wake up? And to me, that's exactly what happened. This Bills offense woke up. Josh Allen was like, oh shit, I can throw. I can sling this ball because I'm fucking Josh Allen.
No, because it's Seattle's defense. I think the worst, I thought the Dallas Cowboys defense was bad defensively. The fucking Seahawks team.
And
Ricky, Cam Newton threw about 396 on them.
Yeah.
Everyone in the league can throw on this Seahawks defense. They are the worst passing defense
there was the
NFL.
one John Brown play where I was like, it was just like whoop right through butter. He just sliced through.
I will give credit to Josh Allen. He had a great comeback game after weeks of looking like literal trash out there.
Yeah.
They are good again, and I like that they didn't slow up. That's the thing I give them credit for, because Russell Wilson never gives up. Russell Wilson will never give up. You can't have any lead. He will come for you.
Let me ask this, and Cowherd brought this up last week heading into this week, of how far can Russell Wilson carry this team? Because to me, it seemed like maybe, I know I was, where it's like, oh, Seahawks will win. They're a good team. And then you look at them this week and you're like, oh, maybe it is all like they're putting everything on Russell Wilson, to where like in the past, Legion of Boom, they didn't have to do that. They had a great defense. And this defense, nowhere near LOB.
No, they're literally one of the worst defenses of all time as far as passing is concerned. You look at every single passer has had a great game against him except Jimmy G. And that's
been a shit year for Jimmy G, though.
He had a high ankle sprain, so sucks to suck sometimes. They are just 49ers are snake bitten.
Like, should Seahawks fans be worried, like, if they have to go up against the Packers or the Bucs or the Saints, that they might not win that playoff game?
This was definitely a wake up call for them. This was reality staying in going, okay, I knew we had to be worried about it, but Russ has been, if Russ plays at his highest level, we can beat anyone. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, Russ didn't have a good game, but I don't know that he could have won this game even if he did go perfect. So I think this is definitely a mindset of like, shit, we really need to change some things around here. I don't know how they're using players or if they got to make a decision to put somebody on the bench, but like, shit's got to change.
I mean, the good thing for Seattle, and I know any given Sunday, but I'm going to fucking say it anyways. The good thing for Seattle is that you're going to be 11 wins this season.
Probably.
At least. And the reason why I say that is the only 3 tough games you have is the next 2 weeks. You got Rams and Cardinals. Those will be tough. Then you have a 4-game stretch that consists of Philly, New York, Washington.
Wow.
Then you play the Rams again, and then you play San Francisco. So, like, you should, if you don't win 6 more games this year, then no excuse.
No, I mean, they've got at least 4 wins out of that, like you said, and then after that, it's up to them
5 more. 5 more. Yeah, because they're 6-2. So 5 more brings them to 11.
Yeah. So I think they should have 4 at least. Wins. It's just a question of, do they hit 11 or do they struggle against in conference? Yeah. I think they'll be fine. It's just a matter of like,
the big question
this could be
for me is
11 win. I can't hear you because you keep talking.
Go ahead.
It just cancels out.
No, go ahead.
Discords. I just wonder if, even if they're 11 and an 11 win team, I don't know how far they make it in the playoffs. Like you said, like if they get matched up against an Aaron Rodgers, like that's a duel in the playoffs again. That's an Aaron Rodgers throws for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns against you kind of a situation. Yeah. But they also don't have a run defense. So do you think that DJ Dallas has it in him to slow them up? Like that's the question you got to figure out. Like matchup wise, that's where the concern is now.
Right now, if the playoffs ended today, Saints would get the bye. Seahawks would be 2 because they have the tiebreaker over Green Bay right now. And Seattle would play Arizona in the first week of the playoffs. It'd be.
We'll have to see this matchup. I mean, we got.
I'm sorry, Rams. Rams would go to Seattle. Arizona would go to Green Bay, and then Tampa Bay would go to Philly.
I still favor Seattle over the Rams, so I'm not too worried about that matchup.
Yeah, it's against the top 5. Well, 4. Top 4. I mean, I said 5 because Tampa Bay is 5, but Philly shouldn't be 5. That's the thing. Are they going to compete when they go up against Packers, Saints, and Bucs? The next game, Dave, this was one where I should have fucking flipped. I shouldn't have picked the Colts. I picked the Colts because I was like, you know what? I'm down on the Ravens right now. This Colts team is going to come through. And then what did the Ravens do, Dave? They played a pretty good game. Phillip Rivers, the epitome, or what am I thinking of? The basically like Phillip Rivers in a picture at times could be shown in a play where throws an interception. I can't remember what player it was for the Ravens, running it back. Phillip Rivers goes to tackle and then just falls back on his back, and the defender just runs right over him as he goes right into the end zone. Like, I knew the next 4 games, this and the next 3, were going to be iffy for the Colts, but if you're a Colts fan, this is not how you wanted to start your 4-game stretch.
No, but I agree. They are who we thought they were. Kind of a moment for Phillip Rivers. Is like, yep, he's going to fuck this up for them, isn't he?
Yeah.
That was exactly what I was like. They have the better defense. The Ravens had struggled. They are still without Mark Ingram. And I was like, okay, maybe this Ravens team is going to hit a little bit of a struggle here, and they're not going to be – no, fuck.
No, fuck. That ain't going to happen. But, yeah, like I think the Colts, they play Tennessee next. I think it's Tennessee, Green Bay, Tennessee, because they obviously don't play Tennessee back-to-back. So it'll be interesting to see if they bounce back. And then, hey, the Ravens, they keep pace with Pittsburgh, who we'll talk about a little bit later as they stay unbeaten. The next game, Dave, I think to me it comes down to one of 2 questions, because looking at the record, the Panthers are 3-6 now. I don't think they sniffed the playoffs, but like this game, Panthers-Chiefs, did it tell you more about the Panthers of what kind of a team they are with Christian McCaffrey out there? Or does this tell you more about like, hey, maybe we don't take anything for granted in the NFL, that even though the Chiefs are the undefeated Super Bowl champions, maybe anything is possible, and they might not be the easy coast into the Super Bowl like some think.
I mean, I think it says a lot about the Carolina Panthers are a much better team than their 3-6 record says. Obviously, with Christian McCaffrey, they're a different kind of beast. Now, unfortunately, Christian McCaffrey, injured now, shoulder. Fuck you, game. Like it's the NFL and me in fantasy football all colluded to decide that anyone I pick is deathly injured.
Yeah.
As soon and as often as possible.
Yeah.
So I apologize to Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers. They're damn good when they're playing together.
Yeah.
To his credit,
he had 69 rushing yards, nice, and 105. 83 through the air. Curtis Samuel's at 105.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they were cutting out that Chiefs defense when they needed to, and that was the thing. So Chiefs, no, I mean we watched the Chiefs lose to the Raiders. The Chiefs are definitely a team who any given week can be competitive, but I just feel at the end of the day they will shine it out. Like that fourth quarter duel was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean
I enjoyed it.
The worry I have for the Chiefs, running back, because like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. In his last 3 games, Dave, 8 touches, 6 touches, 6 touches. Like, he fell off a fucking cliff from getting at least 16 to 20, got 26 in the game against Buffalo.
Well, that was the weather thing.
And then in the so like at least like 16 to 20. And then now he's getting no more than 8 in a game. Right. Like, to me, that's the worrisome part of, like, is this the Andy Reid kind of, and this goes back to your question of, like, who's really calling the plays? I said I think Bieniemy calls it. Maybe a Chiefs fan can correct me, but, like, this leads into, is Andy Reid really calling the plays? Because what does Andy Reid like to do? Forget that he has fucking running backs back there. And what do you need to do to win games? Establish a run game, and
LA. You gotta dominate the ball. You gotta dominate the point of possession. And you gotta run the clock. And when you pass the ball every fucking down, it does not tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just one of those of like, they got to stop relying on Patrick Mahomes way too much, because yes, Mahomes is good, but you need an established run game behind him. Next one, Dave, Dalvin Cook, like I mentioned, our Wet Boys had a great game for the Vikings. Kirk Cousins also had 3 touchdowns, but you know, Mitch
13 to 20.
Like Mitch Trubisky can also beat the Lions, so I ain't giving him much credit for beating the Lions. Matt Stafford, after being cleared to play after testing negative, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. We saw a Chase Daniels sighting late in the game, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Chase.
No S on the end of that one, Chase Daniels.
I know.
He's not in Chicago anymore.
Good. But I mean, Joe Burrows isn't, and I still put Joe Burrows on it.
Yeah, but Chase Daniel was in Chicago, so I was totally all in the S, but now I'm not.
He's on the Lions now, so we can't do that.
I can disrespect him again.
This is a game.
Stafford hadn't practiced with this team all week. He flew out on a private jet to play with them on Sunday morning. Like, it was not going to be his best game.
Yeah.
Should have known that. It chose poorly. I regret it, you know?
Because that was one.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, you were one that you were like, if Stafford plays, I'm going Lions. If he doesn't, I'm going Vikings. I'll be honest. I didn't expect Dalvin Cook to have. I said it on Friday. Don't expect him to have another game like he had against the Packers. And Dalvin Cook put a foot in my mouth.
Ain't broke, don't fix a game plan, baby. Hand the rock off 34 total rushes by the Minnesota Vikings.
Here's my question. Is there any way Dalvin Cook, I'm not going to say wins the MVP because he'll go to a quarterback, but is there any way Dalvin Cook, if he continues at performances like this, does he finish top 3 in the MVP?
I think he can.
Okay.
If he can keep up like 120 yard per game, you know, or shit, absolutely. Yeah. He absolutely deserves to. Regardless of the Vikings record, even if they go 8-8, like 100%, he deserves to be top 3 in voting right now.
Dave, the next game, you called it. I should have went with the Giants. Like,
if there's one team in the NFL that Danny Dimes can beat, it is the Washington football team.
Even if it's close, like, oh man, like there was a part of me, it was a sad moment for Kyle Allen. He goes down.
Oh my God, that team is cursed.
But then seeing Alex Smith play, I was like, please win it, Alex. Please win it, Alex. Alex got his first touchdown since the injury. I'm like, please win it, Alex. And then like I saw on my phone, 23-20. I'm like, yes, they can pull it out. And I was like, damn it. Danny Dimes just pulls out the win against Washington. Dave, I should have went with you. I should have went Giants, but nope. My stupid dumb brain was like, can't pick Danny Dimes, can't pick the Giants. They can't win.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I didn't even look at who was playing on the teams. It's just Washington versus New York. Had to go with the team that has their number. Same time, every time the Bears play the Vikings, they got to pick the Bears.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I mean, you pick the Bears every week, though.
Yeah, I do. Which again, I don't even want the loss for the credit since I picked against the Bears officially. But like I understand I got to play the game.
If you're Washington going forward, like Kyle Allen, let's say he can't start next week. Let's say he's out for extended time.
You see his?
I saw, Dave. I saw. I'm just posing a question.
This year. He'll be lucky if he plays football next year, Ricky. That was disgusting.
Washington. Do you stick with Alex Smith or do you go back to Dwayne Haskins?
They pure straight hate Dwayne Haskins.
Okay.
But he will get snaps before the year's over. Yes.
Because
they need to figure out what they got.
I feel like it's Alex Smith just because
Alex
of who
Smith
they started in this game.
What are we, week 7, 8, 9?
9.
So we're 9 weeks into the season. Alex Smith will start for 4 more weeks.
Okay.
We'll get like 2 starts maybe 2 starts for Haskins at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Or in garbage time where it's like they're losing by like 30 and it's like what harm is it going to be? I mean, you got to figure it out. Like I talked earlier about trying to find out what the rest of the talent on the team is with having Allen out there, having Alex Smith out there. But now that you're through like the glut of the season, a couple more games, you'll have that locked in for going who's sticking it out, who's going to be moved next season, where's the contracts going. You can put Dwayne back in and let him run it out and see what happens.
Yeah, because this is not a team that is like some teams. It's like, oh, they could be playing themselves back into a playoff hunt. The Washington team is not. This one. And they're going to get to a point where eventually they're going to be like, yo, we need that higher draft pick. So we're going to put maybe Dwayne in. Dave, the next game, Texans beat the Jaguars. I just want to say, like, there's a part of me that's like, I feel sorry for Deshaun Watson. He has to go through a season like this because, like, there's like this is a game that the Texans should have handily beat Jacksonville. I know we talk about the AFC South being like always tough, and the Jaguars are always that team down in Jacksonville. The heat gets to you, Dave. You start miraging it, seeing linemen that you don't really think that are there. Like this should have been a game that was not 27-25, Dave. Like this is something to where like. I almost gave fucking Lutton a wet boy, and he doesn't deserve it because
he was this close,
because he didn't lose the game badly, and like that's the thing with this Texan team.
He made a heroic fourth quarter drive with no timeouts, and put this Jacksonville team in position to win the game.
Give him the mustache.
It was a terrible call in the 2-point conversion, unfortunately. That was the only thing that killed it. Like if he had been able to pull that off, woo, that would have been magic right there. But Will Fuller looking like a top 5 wide receiver in football now.
I would say an elite wide receiver. Am I right, Dave?
It's almost like they had a wide receiver with talent still, and you clowned on this team for not having wide receivers with talent.
Yeah, I did. But I'm also now clowning on the Packers because looks like they have an elite wide receiver that could have helped out Aaron Rodgers, right?
They do.
Because everyone was like, ooh, I wouldn't call him elite now.
Hey, he's only just caught the fucking ball every single game. Yeah. No worries. Whatever. DJ Chark, though, popping off a little. I'm excited for my boy.
I'm excited on that
Mid-round draft pick wide receiver. Yeah. He's very versatile. He's been a running back at times for this Jacksonville team. Caught a big run, 73-yard touchdown to start the game off. But had a really good game.
Yeah, I'm excited about DJ, only because in the Dynasty Fantasy League that I'm in that took off this year, I got DJ Chark. So it's like, obviously, I want to see him do well because he's on my team.
I drafted DJ Chark in Fantasy League.
Yeah. I only stayed away from him because I didn't think Jackson was going to be that great.
They don't have a quarterback.
Dave, you know who's the quarterback, though, I should really feel sorry for?
Whew, I know.
Justin Herbert. Like, Dave, I'm going to take you down a little memory lane.
I can't wait.
And
no, you go, you go.
So I put out a tweet, and I was writing this tweet before the play was finalized, and I had to tag on a little, like, excerpt to the end of it, where Justin Herbert makes that throw, right? Makes that throw to, what was it, Parham that caught it and did not hang on to it. I said,
did he catch it?
This is the tweet. That throw right there is that, or in that moment, that is why I was so high on Justin Herbert last draft season. If only his receiver hung on to the ball. This is a kid where I'm starting to think, Dave, maybe they shouldn't draft an offensive tackle with their first round pick. They should draft a wide receiver, whether that's Jamar Chase, whether that's Jalen Waddle, whether that's even Devonta Smith. Like, can we get Justin Herbert something to where he can win a game? Because I feel like each week I'm looking at it going, man, Herbert's playing really well. Wait, why didn't the Chargers win here? They should have won that game. Like, this is another one. Like, the Raiders squeaked one out with a victory. Herbert should have had a victory. Shouldn't be 2-6.
That was a cool end to the game, though. You got to admit, like,
that's a quarterback throw.
It was the game-winning touchdown. Donald Partham Jr., for those who don't know and didn't listen on Sunday, I believe he had, up to that point, he had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns in his NFL career. So that would have been 3 for 3. So he's a touchdown machine. That's all he does is catch touchdowns. And that was heartbreaking. But at the same time, it was like the touchdown happened, the cannons go off, everybody's celebrating, and all of a sudden the camera goes on to a cornerback from the Raiders, and he's just running down the field doing this, and he's just like, and they're like, wait, that wasn't a touchdown. He didn't hold the ball the whole time. The ball came loose. As far
don't
as
worry about the Mike Williams one that happened before that, where he was apparently out of bounds.
Well, he got hurt. He dropped the ball.
Yeah.
He had the catch.
Okay.
It was 100% a catch, but he dropped the ball because he got hurt.
Okay. I thought it was one where they said that he was out of bounds and then he dropped it, obviously, because he was hurt.
No, the ball, like, as he was coming down with it, the ball bounced loose.
Okay.
And that was the problem. So it's unfortunate, but at the same time, like, if he hadn't gotten hurt on that play, he would have been there for the next one.
Yeah.
Or he would have been able to complete the catch. So I think between Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, you do have 2 good pass catchers, and you still have Hunter Henry. Not too shabby at the wide receiver, at the tight end position.
I totally thought after Williams came out, watching that game, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, the camera showed Keenan Allen. I'm like, they're going to force it to Keenan Allen.
Oh, absolutely. They had that bunch package with the 4-on-1, and it was like, so it's like a wide receiver screen they're setting up here.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they're going to the 1. I thought there was 100% Allen going to make a break for the end zone on the corner pylon.
I would like to know if that was actually the first read. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was a time thing where it's like he was supposed to go there, or if it was a hike, read the screen. It's not
it has
there.
To be damn near instant on that screen.
Yeah,
the problem was that they had called the Raiders had called timeout to see the play, and they came back with the same exact play, so they had the personnel to line up there.
Oh, it was just one of those to work.
It was a hell of a game. Air Bear's a fucking saint, though. Like,
you've got the future. LA's got it. Yeah.
He is better than Joe Burrow. I'll say it right now.
LA's got the future. At least you could do that.
100%. I'm incredibly jealous.
Dave, Dallas, I thought they were going to upset the Steelers for a second. For a hot second, I was like, please don't. I was like, please don't. Please, please, please don't. JD also says that's a lie, Dave. JD going for Joe Burrow.
JD, unfortunately, you're wrong. I talked about it last week. I'll talk about it next week. I'll talk about it every goddamn week I need to. Herbert, Air Bear, Rookie of the Year.
But Dave, I was wrong. It was not Cooper Rush that got the start for
Garrett Gilbert.
Your boy Garrett Gilbert.
I got it right.
You did. Your boy that I wish I could pull up the tape. It was from when we used to do the podcast in that small little closet.
Yeah.
At Pete's studio, you, I, and Mark and Dave sitting there going, I like this kid out of SMU, this Garrett Gilbert guy.
I think he had potential.
He had a fucking cannon is what he had. He's fucking in his pro day slinging it from the 50-yard line.
Now you see it when Gilbert gets hot.
Yeah.
Boy can fucking deal.
Yeah, this was a game, though, I am so glad that the Steelers... Minkah Fitzpatrick, thank you for that interception. It brought life to the Steeler team. Big Ben did what he does and gets 3 touchdowns in the game. Got hurt, came back.
Walked off the field, scared the hell out of everyone.
Scared the hell out of me. That's my fantasy. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback in the MVP league.
And then, thankfully, walked right back on, and we were like, oh, thank you, G. Like, thank you. But the Steelers just play down.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but they play down to bad teams.
Yep.
This was the game where they were like, yeah, this is basically a second bye week. and
they
felt it.
So,
but the weird thing, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
I didn't catch during this game.
Go ahead.
Was the struggles of Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
Now, what the hell happened to him this game? Because he had 18 carries for 51 yards, under 3 yards a carry out there.
I think it's just the Steelers' defense is tough. The Steelers' defense is rough.
Pollard didn't seem to have a problem out there.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
out there killing it.
I do also wonder, though, if it was also something to where, like you said, where it seemed like the Steelers were like, oh, this is another bye week. Does that then translate over into, oh, it's just Pollard back there? You don't bring the same type of intensity if it's not fucking
maybe just time of the game. Maybe it was a situational thing where Zeke got the early rushes.
Because Pollard yard-wise only had 6 more yards than Zeke.
Yeah, but on half the fucking rushes.
Yeah, good point. 20 yards was his long. Good point.
6.3 yard average versus 2.8 yard average. Like Zeke is just, I don't know if I've seen a man stock plummet so hard without a quarterback while just being a running back. Like, I mean, it makes sense because people can pack the box against them, but good old Gary Gilbert out there slinging dimes and like putting the fear of God in the Steelers.
Gary Gilbert.
I'm sure he really appreciates being called Gary, but whatever.
I mean, for me, it's just one of those things where like Zeke is a whole. This whole season, like maybe it's just the epitome of the Cowboy season, but like I look at it and I go, "Oh, Zeke, you should be better than this." Like this whole Cowboys team should be better than this. Now they're 2-7, as the Steelers go to 8-0. Before I move on, though, last Steeler thing I want to ask you, Dave. If you had to put your money on one of these next 2 teams beating the Steelers because they play down to opponents, you putting it on Joe Burrows next week, or you putting it on Luton in week number 11?
I'd say Joe Burrow has a better shot.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe Burrow has a better shot.
The next play down game is Washington. I don't put, like, maybe Alex Smith, but, like, I don't think they lose to Washington.
Hard to say that, yeah.
And then, Dave, 2 more games left. The first one, I forgot about this one. I was ready to go into the Sunday night game, but I was so happy watching this. So happy to watch Tua Tagovailoa get his first win in the NFL. Like this was
second win. What are you talking about?
Second win. Oh, that's right. Am I missing?
We literally won last week.
That's right. I totally forgot they won last week.
You beat the 49.
Second. Maybe it's because last week it was like, all right, you beat you said that. Did they play the Niners last week? I totally forgot about that game last week.
Rams.
The point is, you're right, the Rams. The point is this one seemed like anything you can do, I can do better. Kyler Murray goes out there, does something amazing. Tua Tagovailoa, like there was one where it's like, oh, Tua got sacked there. Tua's still up. Tua went through. Tua's all the way running down the field. How the hell did he get out of the backfield? Like,
Tua is exactly the guy who I ranted about 3 weeks ago here, 4 weeks ago maybe, and was like, there's no reason to be afraid about Tua Tagovailoa playing quarterback for this Miami team. He is better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick himself said there are throws that he can make that I can't. Yeah. Now, Tua went out there on a big stage and performed, and he had a duel with one of the other best young quarterbacks in the NFL, and Tua went out there and showed him why he's the guy. And this was a Miami team whose defense has been incredible all year.
Dude, they've been playing so well as of late.
Dealt. They dealt on them. But when the time came, bend but don't break, baby. Fourth quarter, Cardinals could not get in the end zone. It was a great game. It was absolutely great. I'm with you, man. Like, Kyler Murray almost got my wet boy because he did everything he did almost everything you wanted him to do.
Except be able to win the game.
Except win the game.
I mean,
and it was tough.
Two thoughts.
Yeah, Tua was great.
Two thoughts I have. Sure. First off, if you're either Washington, Detroit, or the Giants, are you watching Tua and Air Bear going, I know we had Haskins, I know we have Stafford, I know we have Danny Dimes, but man, if I redraft, I'm taking one of them fucking at our pick.
I saw a tweet that was like, imagine taking a cornerback in Detroit over Tua. And it was like, ooh.
I mean, the Redskins you can pass on because like they took Chase Young. So it's like you're getting the best pass rusher.
That is a guy who's going to be in the decade for 10 years and hopefully be a best pass rusher for a couple of those.
Andrew Thomas, offensive line help doesn't hurt. But yeah, taking a Kuda over fucking Tua or Air Bear there, it's like, ooh.
That hurts.
I was going to ask something else. There was some other thing that I was
Jordan Howard getting carried. I'm just going to shout out that man should not be able to touch the ball that many times for that few yards.
The other thing I was thinking about in this one, and I know they lost, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. Yeah. I couldn't help during this game think back to when like Mark and I on the onside kick would talk about like Cliff Kingsbury when he got the job. And I was like, I don't know about this hire kind of a thing. And it's almost like I was watching this game and I was like, I questioned Kingsbury getting the hire. I questioned Kyler Murray being the number one pick. Not that I didn't think Kyler was good. I just didn't know.
Baker Mayfield concerns.
Basically. To where both of them are fucking proving me wrong. They're a perfect marriage in Arizona.
Worked out well. Really like that team.
And then Dave, the last one, if we could call it a game, happened last night.
I got nothing to say about it. I ranted my way through that whole game already.
So here's my thing with it. And I know Jake in the Discord was like, do I start dancing now? This feels weird. Saints fans are going crazy. Oh my God, we beat the Bucs, blah, 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 blah. Saints fans, I'm going to give you a little bit of dose of reality here. Max Kellerman got hit with this by Stephen A. And I completely agree with Stephen A. And I don't usually do that much. Where Stephen A. was like, all right, Max, he goes, how many, the last 3 years, have the Saints been Super Bowl favorites? And Max goes, yeah, they have. He goes, how many Super Bowls have they won, Max? And he goes, 0. And he goes, how many times have they lost in the playoffs against teams they should have beaten? I mean, maybe you throw out the Rams one, you say the refs fucked you. Yeah, that one I'll take. But the other two, losing to my Vikings twice? Like, come on now. Like, this is a Saints team fan base. Yep. I know you're happy for your team. Happy if you're winning. But there's a sense of me, it's like, let's not treat this like the Super Bowl because we know what the Saints do in the playoffs. The Saints, as of late, can't get to the big game. They blow it up. Like, here's what I'm going to predict it now, Dave. The Saints are going to play the Packers in the playoffs, and Aaron Rodgers is going to beat them. And then Drew Brees will walk off home. Like, that's it.
Like that earlier this year, but okay.
This is something.
Michael Thomas being back is big for them. Can I just admit that? Like, offensively, he changed the game for them just by being available. Big difference out there. So, like, that's one thing to consider. I just don't know.
Or is this just the curse of AB?
Defensively, they're so strong, though, man. Like, that's the thing. They have people's numbers left and right. Like, that's what makes them dangerous is their defense. Their offense should be consistently good. Alvin Kamara should be able to get you first downs and control the ball and dump out passes. Michael Thomas should open up the pass game and spread out guys and draw, double coverage and shit from time to time. So, like, that's like they have all the right guys. They have all the right players. Can they make the right calls at the right time to get there? That's the big problem. I still think they're still favorites in the NFC. It's hard. Like, the Seahawks, we just talked about defensive woes. We talked about the Packers rushing game. They can't stop anyone. Literally, you go out there and rush for about 140 on them. Like, not even a problem. So every team has its flaws. The Saints right now look like the least flawed team in the NFC, but that doesn't make them the best team.
Yeah. I just, and yet again, there's a little spite behind these words because I feel like the last time the Saints won a Super Bowl, they cheated to get there. But when they lose in the playoffs, again, for the 4th straight year, we're basically going to look at it and go, oh, the Saints, Sean Payton, Saints can't win a Super Bowl if they don't have a bounty out on players. I mean,
I don't think the bounty really had anything to do with them winning the Super Bowl. The bounty
in that NFC Championship game, it so did, Dave. If fucking Brett Favre had a healthy leg and wasn't fucked up by that bounty, we would have won that game. But like the Green Bay beat the Saints this year. They beat them earlier. 37-30. That was the one where Tonya had the three touchdowns. Right?
But that was the game without Michael Thomas, right?
Yeah, no, it was without Michael Thomas. I agree. Michael Thomas adds to that team.
I'm saying that's why I brought him up, because he's the difference maker on that matchup. Like, I think that he puts them over the top.
With the Saints, when it comes to the playoffs.
I want to check. Was Evan Kamara there that day either?
And I was wrong. It wasn't the Tonya 3-touchdown game was against the Falcons, I believe. That was just a really good game for the Saints. But yeah, my big thing with the Saints is when they get to the playoffs, they just I don't know if it's like a Steeler thing of they play down the teams or that or what. The miracle was because their corner couldn't tackle. The Rams one, I will say they kind of got fucked there because of the refs, so I can go ahead and say that. But even the last Viking, watching that last Viking win with fucking Jake, I felt bad because I'm like, we should not be beating you right now. You should be beating us. Agreed. Why are you not beating us?
Agreed.
Did you go ahead and find what you were looking for?
Oh yeah, no. I checked it. Okay. Correct. It was the game. It did not have a Michael Thomas in it. Okay. So yeah. I'm like, I think that'll be different when they run it back. But point being,
who knows? What if they play Tom Brady and Tom Brady wins when it matters?
Ooh,
that could also happen. And then who's got the last laugh kind of a thing. That's why it's like the whole Jameis Winston eating the W. It's like
that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome.
Jameis, you are the one that should not be set. You're only winning.
He went out there and took a snap.
Okay, he took one snap. They're only winning because of Drew Brees, not fucking Jameis Winston, okay?
The point is, he took a snap against his former team in a blowout victory.
Yeah.
That
which
is
he had nothing to do.
Living life to the fullest moment in your face.
Which he had nothing, that's the
doesn't matter if it had anything to do with it.
Oh, I think it does.
He was able to go out there and be that guy.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He got to eat the dub.
That's like fucking Danny Green fucking being ecstatic fucking for the finals when they won because of LeBron and AD.
Danny Green did play basketball at least.
I would say Kyle. You know what? Jameis Winston's like Kyle Kuzma. That's what he is. He only got that ring.
Contributed quite a bit.
What?
Kyle Kuzma did more than Danny Green in that championship
run. Okay. James Winston's either one of them, but
I'm trying to think of someone who just stood on the court. Jared Dudley. He's the Jared Dudley of that team.
Or is he the James Jones? I would say the James Jones. James Jones was on the Heat.
James Jones played some basketball at some point in his career, I'm sure.
Later on, he just fucking coat read. He just rode the coat of LeBron. But we're getting off of it. But that's going to do it for us. We'll be back tomorrow. There's an NFL game.
Jameis. That's all it is. You just hate Jameis.
He's not good.
But he's not bad.
No, he's bad. He's bad, Dave.
He's incredibly bad and turnover prone, but he can sling the fucking rock.
There's a game going on right now. Fucking Patriots are only up 7-3, Dave. We'll be talking about this. I know. Cam Newton's got the touchdown, though, so it's okay.
I said Cam Newton was 4 for 4 last time I checked.
Cam Newton ran in for the touchdown, so he's got a rushing touchdown. That's 6 points, Dave, not that measly 4 you get for the passing. JD, is there really an NFL game going on right now?
6 for 6 passing and a 5-yard rushing touchdown. You can't ask him to be better at football. That's how bad the Jets are.
Yeah, I was going to say, he should be like that. It's the Jets he's playing. But that's going to do it for us. Make sure, join the best community on the internet. Bam, link down below if you're on YouTube, ! Discord, into Twitch. Get you there. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVP vids is how you go ahead and do that. You can also Throw us a sub on Twitch, twitch.tv/MVP Vids, where we're live every Monday through Friday. But we're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. Soapy getting here in the end says it's basically a G League football game. That's basically any game with the Jets, right? But thank you guys for doing everything you do, watching, listening. Dave and I will be back tomorrow for another great show. And as always, have a good day, everybody.